the Trevor Jackson Podcast.
Gucci can't touch it. Louis Vuitton can't.
You know, I want to give that brother a round of applause. You know, he's from Atlanta. So when I think of Atlanta, Atlanta is a multiplex city. Crunk music, trap music, street music, drug-induced music, Future with the singing, Outkast with the... I don't even know how to define their music. Goody Mob, CeeLo Green, R&B, So Def. It's just so many complex. It's just a lot in Atlanta. But to hear somebody spit like that with lyrics, I was first aware of this young brother, and I know I'm late. So y'all can say whatever y'all want to say about me. I know I'm late to the party. I'm late to JID. And I first heard him when he did the track with Eminem. I reacted to it on the channel about 3 weeks ago. And the song was phenomenal, and I heard the lyrics and the bars, and I think this brother is positioning himself to be one of the best artists in the game. Now, he's on a press run, speaking. He went on Joe Budden's podcast, and you know, salute to Joe Budden. I want to just salute him one time. The Breakfast Club used to be the premier spot for people to, you know, come and be guests and speak and be interviewed and promote their creativity, but it's not no more. When it comes to hip hop and artistry, it's Joe Budden's platform. You want to talk to somebody who participated in the game and understands the bars and the lyrics and, you know, the region and what the music mean. And Joe Budden's platform is great for that. You know, don't let me get no money because the Southeast going to be on lock. The Southeast going to be on lock. Everybody going to be coming to my platform because they ain't going to have no choice. They going to know that I understand the game. I understand what they trying to do and where they trying to take it. And he went on Joe Budden's platform, JID, and he had something profound to say. He went on a couple of more platforms and he had some profound things to say. But, you know, I want to talk about Dreamville for a minute. They got Boz over there. They had Ari Lennox over there. They got Earth Gang over there. They got, I forgot Buddy from, I keep forgetting his name too, but he got a song called Goldmouth. Nigga lived down the street from me. That's what's crazy. In Charlotte. He from Charlotte. He a dope ass artist. They got some dope shit in Dreamville, and I feel like they holding down the Southeastern as a label. And I wasn't too up to speed on JID, but when I got up to speed on him, I liked him a lot. And you know, people are on the internet talking about that he and Cole have complications and they beefing and he ain't promote this record right, because we seen how the Clips rollout was. They was on everybody's platform talking. For Cole and Dreamville and the label to hear this album and not, you know what I mean, have this brother everywhere on all type of platforms speaking, they feel like there was a lackluster effort on the label to promote this guy. And he's still defending J. Cole.
But that happened. Look, this recently happened, and Boss spoke to this.
What?
Boss spoke to. They didn't go public, but I mean, Dreamville. So Dreamville, and Cole looked out for everybody that was a part of Dreamville.
I heard Boss talk about that.
That's one of the most beautiful things in hip hop, right there. That never fucking happens.
That's dope.
That
Yeah, that's
never
dope.
fucking happens, and it happens to the regard where if niggas on Dreamville that was a part of it don't want to do music and they just want to move on with their life, they'll be good.
Damn. Oh, that good.
Be straight. Like, you do it because you love it, not because it's you trying to
feed your
gang,
family.
like,
Oh, you about to shoot a lot of videos.
Dog.
Word. Yeah.
I'm just saying, if we want to speak to
That's fire.
real shit
That's
in the
fire.
industry, we want to talk about apology. Nigga, apologize 30 more
Yeah,
times. Nigga,
exactly.
that is the greatest nigga on fucking earth.
Wow.
And ain't in this predatory ass industry, nigga get up with a fuck.
That's real stuff.
That's fire.
That's how it. That's how it.
And this ain't got nothing to do with that, but I'm just saying, like, yo,
that's
nigga
fire.
was blessed in the most
Imaginable.
unimaginable, selfless, You ain't have to do that. I know hella niggas who sold their subsidiaries or whatever in
And ran off. Ran right over. Never saw him again.
For sure. I was talking to. Damn, I don't
Somebody
know,
else
put him out
put
like
a
that.
brown over me, man. Shut up, nigga. Oh.
But that's when like that's one of the greatest things I ever seen in music.
You know, I don't want to make this about J. Cole, but he made it about J. Cole. So Hot New Hip Hop put out an article after that interview. You know, we're going to talk about it, but I want to speak about J. Cole for a minute because it's important. You know, to me, Nas is my favorite rapper of all time. Jay-Z is an inspirational rapper based upon the finances he have obtained in his business acumen. J. Cole, me being in North Carolina and listening to his music, and it matches the ambiance and the scenery and the feeling of the state, he's my second favorite. I don't care about apologizing. You know, everybody that is participating in hip hop beef and speaking about beef talked crazy about J. Cole for apologizing. He lame. He this. He that. That didn't change the way I felt about him as an artist. I don't know this brother as a man, but as an artist, you know, I don't want to live in a toxic environment my whole life. I don't want to participate in hatred and animosity and beef and foolishness and shit over and over again. I commend him for that. I commend J. Cole for backing out that beef. That was unique to me. That had never been done. Do something that never been done in your life, man. Quit following the trends. DJ Academics was one of the individuals who talked about this beef, and he talked about it, and he spoke about it in a way like Cole lame because he didn't entertain the foolishness. He didn't entertain the people. You know, appreciate my art, man. Appreciate the art. Appreciate the creativity. You know, a lot of people want the tea. A lot of people want to see you embrace beefing and shooting in streets and all of that. They want to see the downfall of the black community. They want to embrace, they want to be entertained by the downfall of the black community. You see the title of the show, Society in an Outrage. You know, when I walk out the door, I represent y'all. I'm not going to walk out the door with a bonnet on and some slides on. I'm going to walk out the door with integrity, with my head held high, with my back up straight, standing on business because I represent y'all. I expect y'all to do the same. You know, speak up for Cole for doing that. Just because you want to be entertained and you looking at him as lame for backing up at the beef, that means you a fuck nigga at the end of the day because you want to embrace the dumb shit. Let me read the article because Ibrahim Hamad clarifies the new Dreamville deal after JID and Boss sell comments. So, you know, Dreamville is currently facing a lot of discussion in hip-hop discourse, not just for the new JID album, but also for J. Cole and the label's money moves as of late. His manager and label co-founder Ibrahim Hamad recently took to Twitter to clarify the collective status after some comments about its major label's partnership. For those unaware, these comments came from a Boss interview with Elliott Wilson and a conversation on the Joe Budden Podcast with the guy Does Like Ugly Spitter. They revealed that when Dreamville recently ended their partnership with UMG. That's interesting. Drake is suing UMG. J. Cole ended his partnership with UMG. Let me keep reading. Cole gave his artists big checks to share the payout. However, it turns out that this cash does not represent a sale of the imprint. Rather, it's just windfall and extra luck and fortune, presumably as a result of the partnership's terms of closure. For those that misunderstood, we did not sell Dreamville. Ibrahim wrote, "Never will, never would. We ended our Dreamville partnership with UMG, and some blessings came with that. And when blessings comes our way, it's only right to share those blessings with the family." Just some clarity. You know, that's interesting. Because when most people sell their label and sell their entities and all of that, they don't share the proceeds with their artists. We think about Bad Boy. We think about QC, P, and all of them boys. We think about Death Row. We think about a lot of these record labels that's owned by an artist, put artists on, but they're up under a imprint of a Universal or a Atlantic or a Def Jam or whatever. When they sell their proceeds, the person that is at the head, the Birdmans, the Rick Rosses, the Puff Daddies, the Jay-Z's, they keep all the money. Salute to J. Cole for putting his people in position to where they will never have to rap again. They are rich forever.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.